name is Chef Ahki, Ahki, but I go by Chef Ahki, and that's a title that's kind of been given to me over the years as I have now at the age of 34 moved through about 16 years in health and wellness through food, through detox cleansing, herbs and gardening, and just really getting involved in the community and taking that information on health and wellness to the web. And that's kind of just a little brief synopsis about me, but I'll try to keep it brief and get into food. I know we all kind of want to see some healthy food demonstration. So this is my version of what we do in my city every month in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's Electric Foods 101. So welcome to Electric Foods 101. Proud to be one of the world's only exclusively non-hybrid food vegan chefs or electric food chefs. And that is because the food that I make, not only is it plant-based, but also I don't use any what's specified as hybrid foods. And what hybrid foods is food that basically no longer has its genetic integrity. It has been compromised. Its genes, its DNA has been compromised. So we're talking about the difference between food that grows wild in nature, food that God created, and food that's been in the hands of man and over time has been tampered with in laboratories. We're talking about Frankenstein foods here. And a lot of what is out there, although it grows out of the ground and we see it as natural because it's in the produce section, it is far from natural. What's happened is that they've taken foods ever since the onslaught of agriculture, and they have started to crossbreed foods. And what happens when you crossbreed foods that come from what they call a different phylum, or different species, the mother and father plant of a different species, what ends up happening is that you get these mutant foods. So we're talking about the seedless grape. We're talking about the plumelo, whatever the hell that is. I don't think God ever created a plumelo. Okay, so Jesus ain't never seen this food. All right, so some of this food we're talking about is not, it's not natural to the earth. All right, so I'm doing my best. I'm a native of Oklahoma. My grandmother, I'd say 80% of what she ate came out of her backyard. And so to this day, at 82 years old, she is healthy. Yes, she's gone through some cancer bouts. Yes, she's gone through different things. It's almost inevitable in our time, unfortunately. But she certainly has kept her weight down, kept her spirits up, has all of her mind and all of her functions, and is quite healthy, comparatively. And I know it's because she grew most of her food in her backyard, whereas my mother, growing up, moved to the city and decided to use Hamburger Helper to raise us at McDonald's. So I did not get that same experience unless I went to Granny's house. And then those of you who have Big Mama in the backyard hooking it up, then you know what I'm talking about, real food. And what she could not grow or prepare that day, she can and she freeze and all those things. So we're talking about real, natural, wild plants and wild foods. And so some of that stuff is what we're going to prepare today. For example, when you look at grains, a lot of health food nutritionists and things will tell you, eat your grains and this and that. Today's modern grain is not the grain of yesteryear. The ancient grain would be your kamut, would be your spelt, would be your teff, would be your wild and black rices, or even your quinoa, your red and black quinoa, things like that. These are seed grains, and they don't digest in the body the same way that a white rice would, okay? Or, the pasta noodles and things like wheat and things like this. So this is something, there's a great book out called Wheat Belly that I suggest you check out. Wheat Belly is an awesome book, and it breaks down how, we've had the past, 15, 20 years, everybody's telling us to eat wheat, this, it's whole grain wheat and all this. And it's the same thing as the fat-free era of the 80s. It's gimmick, it's crap. All right, so wheat actually contributes to a really mucus-forming, glutinous condition, obesity. Wheat is not the way you want to go. So let's cook. Y'all ready? Okay. Woo! All right. So I'm gonna put this down. All right. So what we're doing today is going to be a layered stuffed Mexican burrito, and it's raw. Excited? Okay, cool. So I made this a dish for my electric foods class in Atlanta, and everyone loved it. The textures are amazing. So we're going to use some collard greens for that wrap to just kind of hold everything together. And really, you don't need a whole lot. I know this looks like a lot, but you actually don't need a lot for this dish at home, and I'm making it for all of you. The main ingredients for this dish, of course, are the collard greens. Now, if you don't want to use collard greens, you can use romaine lettuce, you can use butterbib lettuce, anything to create that wrap as far as some people use the nori, sushi, rolls, and all that. So whatever works for you. I really like the texture, I like the crunch of the collard green. We're going to eat it raw, but you can steam it as well. I find it a little more difficult when it actually gets a little tougher, believe it or not, when you steam it than when it's raw. Somehow the crunch and the way you wrap it just kind of comes together. When you steam it, it can be a little more tough. So this is your main ingredient. Also, in order to stuff our wrap, we're going to use walnuts. Walnuts are a superfood, antioxidants, wonderful for your skin, wonderful for hair and nails. And it also is going to give us just a really good texture for what we're calling our walnut meat. So this is going to be kind of like our ground beef replacement for this wrap today. And we're going to spice it up and blend it up in a food processor. So for this dish, you would have to have a food processor. And you need one anyway. If you're going to really get back into healthy living foods, you're going to need a food processor. So we're going to do the walnut taco meat as well as we're going to make a salsa fresca to top it. And the main ingredient for that is red onion, cucumber, little lemon, lime juice, cilantro, and tomato, little jalapeno. Spice it up really good. We're also going to do a what I call sassy black rice. Sassy black rice. So what I've done with my black rice, if you can see here, you can find black rice almost anywhere nowadays. It's getting really popular. The texture is amazing. A lot better for you than brown rice or conventional white rice. Jasmine, it's much better for you. You can soak the rice, actually. You don't have to cook black rice. You can soak it for about 6 hours. Before I went to bed last night, I soaked it, wrapped it up, threw it on the plane, was here in 30 minutes, and here's our rice. So you can actually, because I don't know if I find it here. So you can typically find it in a health food store, in the bulk aisles, bulk sections. You can find it online and have it delivered, or you can find it sometimes in a public store, Kroger, in the health food section. I've actually found it just in a regular rice section at a Kroger. So you can soak it, and then we're going to spice this up to make like a Spanish black rice, but it'll be just with black rice. All right, and then we're going to do what I'm calling old school guacamole. So we're just going to make a simple, typical, but fresh ingredient guacamole, and that's going to wrap up our burrito. All right, sounds good?
Yes.
All right, cool. I don't know if you guys can kind of see this. I'll show you, but the color is beautiful, and the texture is awesome. And the bring your sides in and wrap. Real simple. All right, throughout the day to come and ask questions afterwards. I do health consultations, meal programs, calendars, recipes, all online. So if you guys are in need, I'm in Atlanta, but Memphis is, sister town for me, and I'm here. All right.